What's up? I'm Basic, and I'm your average endgame titan. And I truly believe that anything I can do in this game, you can too. So, shout it in the streets, shout it from the rooftops. It's time for some basic Titan builds. If you're new to build crafting or overwhelmed by the dozens of options available, it's okay, it happens to the best of us. I'll show you some easy to use armor builds that can be worked into any weapon loadout. You just change the siphons, weapon surges, and resistances to match whatever weapons you're using and whatever enemies you're facing. I mean, you get it, and you know what? I'm proud of you. Before we go any further, here are some fundamentals for making any of these builds. First, try to get resilience to 100 for that sweet 30% damage reduction. On your helmet, I always like to put siphons and maybe some ashes to assets or hands-on because orbs and super are king. Heavy ammo finder is a copium pick. It procs way less than you think it would, and it barely gives you any ammo. And for any content where you would actually need it, there's probably a better way to get it, like having a teammate with Aeon exotic arms. So, get heavy ammo finder the hell out of here. Get it out of here. On my arms, I like to have my ability cooldowns reduced by some means like momentum transfer. And sometimes I'll put firepower or heavy-handed on here just to get some more orbs because they are so good. On my chest plate, I simply match my resistances to whatever activity I'm in. On legs, I always use Recuperation. It's one of the best mods in the game. And I'll lit World's First Raider in solo flawless Giga Chad. Glad, explain why.
Recuperation is the king. Why, Glad? Why? Because Better Already only starts your health and shield regeneration. So when you get hurt, let's say you're completely red bar, about to fucking die, and you see an orb, and you slide over that orb. All that it does is it starts the regeneration at your normal recovery speed. But if at any point you step into a burn or you take one bullet from anything or anything touches you, if you take any sort of damage at all or hit by anything, that Better Already immediately stops. So like your health will start to recover. It'll recover like 2 points and then it just stops. You're still red bar. You're fucking dead. Recuperation gives you immediate health instantly. There is no recovery. It's literally red bar, run over an orb.
And that's why we swoop, throw Better Already right on out of here and equip Recuperation. And that's also why we focus so much on orb generation, so we always have health packs all over the place. Finally, on my mark, I always use Bomber and Outreach for more cooldown reduction. Obviously, in these builds, I will do some swippity-swappity and put some different mods on things, but these are the fundamentals. This is where I always start for any build. It's also worth noting that these are only PvE builds. We do not talk about Crucible in this house.
Be gone, fuck!
Now, I've used these builds in raids, grandmasters, and also solo master law sectors, and as God Howard would say,
all of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
On that note, I've shot most of this video live from the Thrillodrome on master difficulty. Let's begin, shall we? Strand is the green machine, one of the best champion slayers in the game. My friends and I use 2 Strand Titans and 1 Strand Warlock, all of us maining the Wishender Bow to complete all but one of the new Grandmaster Nightfalls. Damn you, Mart!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Good ball control, fellas.
Seriously.
Yeah. Your focus on Strand will be to melee things for tangles. Use tangles to get woven mail for huge damage reduction. Shackle grenade all of the big threats, and use Abeyant leap to suspend more things and get more woven mail. Woven Mail makes Strand Titan a major tank, and you should use it for as many engagements as possible. I'm gonna let Asher Mir explain this next build.
Typical Titan idiocy. I'm sure he thought, Gaul has a Sun Destroyer. I don't need a plan. I'll simply headbutt it.
If this were a real attack, you'd be dead.
For Titans in the know, Skullfort has always been a staple of a Titan's arsenal, but people forgot about it after Heart of Inmost Light took the spotlight for a bit. The benefits of Skullfort are fivefold. You get your charge melee back upon a kill, you blind surrounding enemies, and you become amplified, and with the right mod setup, you'll get a ton of orbs and charge your super very fast.
Excuse me, Mr. Basic?
Yes, Jimmy.
If Skullfort is so good, why don't you see people using it more often?
I'm glad you asked, Jimmy. It's because it's dangerous to use in very hard content like Grandmasters because shoulder charges are very risky. But for the other 95% of the game, it works just fine. I use this build whenever I know I'm gonna need Thunder Crash for massive deeps. There will always be a few seconds where you can go hide, put on your Cuirass of the Falling Star, and pop off a Thunder Crash for insane damage! And then once we've all calmed down, you go ahead and take a little second, take off that Cuirass, put that helmet back on, and get back to work. It's easy.
Bonus build.
Now, this variant of the Arc build is exclusively for runners in the Root of Nightmares raid. You swap out Skullfort for some Dune Marchers, and slap on a lightweight weapon. Now headbutt some, and get yourself amplified, and then you can hit the NOS. You'll be so speedy they might as well call you LeBron Phelps. And you can ditch that Eager Edge sword too, and use a real heavy weapon. Then you can swap on that Cuirass for that there big DPS. Oh jeez. Do your friends or raid members ever ask you to run Bubble Titan? And even though Weapons of Light is the best buff in the game, the safety is cool, and overshields on demand are dope, you don't really want to run it because it's boring. It makes you feel somewhat limited on when you can use your abilities. Well, annoy them back with the Severance Enclosure Finisher Titan, or SEFT. With SEFT, your only goal is to
Finish him.
By finishing enemies, you'll apply Volatile to everything around, doing damage and knocking them back as you turn invisible so you can hunt for your next finisher. And then, when the volatile controlled demolition detonates, your health will be restored. And if you want to be real cheeky, you can swap out that weakening grenade for a Devour build. If you don't tell anyone, I won't tell no one either. No one has to know. You're just built different, bro. It's not your fault you're invincible. But I'm gonna keep it one scondo with you guys. Your teammates are probably gonna get annoyed with you launching enemies all over the place, but it's just so damn fun. Not to mention the fact that everything is always volatile and has controlled demolition, is ready to blow. It's great. The best recommendation I can make is make sure you apply Proximity Ward to your Bond. That way you can play very aggressively, knowing all you need to do is get the finisher, and you'll be invincible again and start regenning health. I think it's pretty safe to say that this build is a blast to play. Oh, come on! In the blue corner, hailing from the frozen wastes of Europa, weighing in at 225 pounds, the freezy boy himself, Stasis! Strand is so amazing it has made this build almost completely obsolete, but I'm going to talk about it because, you know, it's in the thumbnail. Now, this build is a lot of fun. It can do some major champion stuff. It can do a ton of ad management. For a minute there, it was in the DPS meta. I've even heard rumors that it was once the scourge of the Crucible. I love to grab the spears and slam them down and blast things with the Nezarec Raid exotic, but yeah, pretty much anything this build can do, the other builds can do better, so let's just move on. This last build is so powerful, it arguably makes the game far too easy. You probably know what it is. It's really not even a build. It's one ability. It's the bonk hammer. You use the hammer, bonk the enemy, and you'll have constant healing and restoration. It gets stronger with each stack of roaring flames, and with Soul Invictus, your sunspots heal you. As long as you pick up the hammer, you'll always have a charged melee, which is extremely powerful. Spec into heavy-handed and put a hands-on mod on your helmet and you'll be a super generating god for you and your teammates. A staple of the solo flawless Titan community, bonk hammer is very strong with or without loreleys. On top of that, the hammer super does great DPS over time as well as being great for ad clear. But wait, there's more! Because the hammer is the key to this whole thing, it pairs with so many different exotics. Synthoceps, Alpha Loopy, Hoyle, Flamey Boy, Lorelei, Severance Enclosure, which is hilarious. Phoenix Cradle, Burning Steps, the list goes on. If you pair it up with some incandescent weapons, now everything is always on fire and you're always at full health. Every Titan should have a bonk build in the arsenal. It's just too good. If you're a Solar Titan and you're running the shoulder charge, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I know, it's easy to use, it's good for movement, it makes enemies explode, but have you seen the bonk hammer? Obviously, you should try to find weapons that pair well with these builds. But sometimes you need a specific weapon for the activity that you're in, which is why I didn't tie any of these builds to specific weapons. However, an easy way to create synergy is simply matching up the keywords on your weapons to the keywords on your subclass, like Jolt for Arc, Scorch for Solar, Volatile for Void, Threadlings for Strand, and Slow for Stasis. All of those will have instant synergy and will work great. But that doesn't matter. You could actually use whatever weapons you're comfortable with or have on hand. Because I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. It really doesn't matter what weapons you use or what the meta strats are, whether you're just starting out or deep into the endgame. What really matters is that you enjoy your time with this amazing world of Destiny. It's complicated, quirky, and weird, but there aren't any other games like it. In a few years, no one is going to look back and remember who did the most DPS on a boss. All they're going to remember about their time with Destiny are the silly deaths, the clutch saves, the heartbreaking moments, and all of the great memories they made. And perhaps, most importantly, the time they spent with their friends. But guys, that's gonna do it for me. If you want to see more Destiny videos, just let me know you're interested by dipping all the doodles. It really does make a huge difference for small creators like myself. If you want to tell me all the reasons I'm wrong and a big dumb face, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. and feel free to share your own builds regardless of what class you play. Until next time, Guardians, good luck on all of your adventures, and may your Postmaster be ever overflowing.